Good morning, Terry. Are you ready to go?
I sure am.
All right. So this morning we're going to cover a couple of races at Aqueduct, the New York Stallion Stakes, I can't remember the other one right now, the Woodhaven Stakes.
Okay.
Then we're going to cover a couple over at Keeneland, the Ben Ali Stakes and the Elkhorn Stakes. So it should be a lot of fun. I hope that we can catch some good picks today in these stakes races, Terry.
Me too.
So there are a couple scratches. I think I got them marked. I don't think there are any scratches in the first race we're going to cover today, and that is it's race number 8, coincidentally race 8 and race 9 at both tracks today at Keeneland and at Santa Anita.
Yes.
The first race on the card is the New York Stallion Stakes, Terry. This one's a 6.5 furlong stakes for a purse of $200,000. 3-year-olds that are eligible for the New York Stallion Stakes. You're not allowed to use Lasix in this sort of spot. And when you look at this particular race, Terry, there's 6.5 furlongs. 46 were won by speed. 28 were wire to wire. Post possessions 1 through 7 play pretty fair. And if we take a quick look at I don't know what this is. Well, we got some kind of weird link there. All right. So when you take a look at the race shape of this race, Terry, looks to me like you got a little bit of early speed out of the one horse Unique Unions. Well, this is at least the path that they've taken to win. So for Unique Unions to win, it would have to be up on the lead. And then Tommy Gunn is another one that's tried to get the lead. Tommy Gunn hasn't won as of yet. So it's going to be interesting to see if it can break its maiden in a stakes race. And then if you look at the actual pace figures, you'll see here that the 3-horse Tommy Gunn and Kaz Mike and Unique Unions, they have a pretty good early pace advantage over the rest of the field. And then on the way home, the 2-horse Baris, Terry, has a huge, and I mean huge, advantage over everybody else. And if we take a look at their limited speed history, it looks to me like the 2-horse right here is the one, Baris, that kind of stands out. And not surprisingly, the horse is, I think, a 2 to 5 morning line favorite?
It is, yeah. I'll be lucky if you get 2 to 5.
Yeah, you probably will be pretty lucky if you get to 2 to 5. There are no scratches in this race, I don't believe. So let's get started with what we think about each and every player in this spot. Number 1, Unique Unions, Terry.
Yeah, this horse has plenty of speed. And he'll try to lead all the way, but I think this distance is a little bit too long for him. And the jockey in the last 7 days has done very well. Has won 5 out of 19, finished in the money 14 times. So,
yeah, I look at this one. It's got to be up near the front of the lead, up near the front, Terry. And there's not a whole lot of pace in this spot. So the horse did come off a layoff the last time it had a layoff, and it came back to win huge. The workouts are middle of the road. So if the horse can get towards the front, and I think it has a good shot to do so, then I think it has maybe a chance to maybe upset if it can run some comfortable fractions.
Yep.
And the number 2 horse, Baris, as we mentioned, this horse is the morning line 2 to 5 with Dylan Davis and Michael Maker. Last time out, ran a sparkling speed figure, by far and away the best in this field. Would have to probably regress a lot for some of the others to catch it.
That's right. This one's won 3 out of 4 races, losing a grade 3 race, but got 105 speed rating, as you said. He has the highest last speed rating and the best third speed, is fastest among today's starters. He drops in class for this one and has a high percentage winning trainer and high percentage winning jockey. So he marks all the off. And I think if there's no trouble in the race, he shouldn't have any problems.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a too low of a price here. So you're going to have to try to beat this horse somehow, some way. Or you're going to have to figure out how you want to do it, some type of exotics with it. Number 4 is Tommy Gunn. This horse is a second horse in the field that has not. This horse has not. Sorry, it's not the second horse. It is one of the first horse that we've talked about today that has not broken its maiden yet.
Yeah.
Last time out, came off, showed some early speed. I think it will be the speed along the speed of the speed, probably going to be on the front in front of Unique Unions. Really not a lot of speed after that. So maybe Tommy Gunn can be the speed horse that gets to the front as the speed of the speed and hold on in its second career start where it should get better.
Yeah, he ran 4th in the owner races he's been in. And, he showed some early speed and just kind of folded a little there at the end. But he has a trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days have won 50% of their starts.
Yeah, and overall, they have a little bit of a positive ROI between Eric Hansel and George Weaver, and he's also a 17% on the second career start. where his overall win rate is just like 9%. So it looks like there's a little alpha in that angle for you. Number 4, Mo Danson. This horse is making its 3rd career start. Last race, it tried an optional claiming against State Breds. Had some nice early pace improvement, then kind of faded at the end. Sometimes these youngsters, they come out of the barn fast, ready to go, like Mo Danson did and win. Kind of regress a little bit in the 2nd race and then bounce back in the 3rd. The bettors have liked this horse each time out. So I think maybe Mo Danson could be another one that can rebound in this spot, maybe sitting on a big race.
You never know. He did break his maiden in his first race, and the winner does win 17% of the sprint races he enters his horses in. So.
All right. Next up on the list is Red DGP, 20 to 1 morning line with Kendrick Carmouche. Horse tried to chase the pace last time out. It made and claiming 40,000. Seems to me to be a huge step up in class, Terry. Any chance that James Ferraro and Kendrick Carmouche can make do something at 200,000 that they couldn't do at 40?
Well, it's going to be really a hard thing for it to do, but did run 3rd in the last race. It was the first race of its career. So, it's going to be tough to get in there, but you might want to use it in the exotics. You just never know with these horses.
Yeah, you never know. Number 6, Mr. Larry, came out on its debut and ran a strong race with Trevor McCarthy. Then he came back in an optional claiming. It tailed off. They switched off to the next race to Eric Cancel. Was even worse. But since then, it's put in a nice bullet workout. So does that mean maybe the horse for Orlando Noda has found its legs again and ready to go for Jose Gomez?
Well, he did the same as Mo Danson. He broke his maiden in his first race, and then he had a couple of races he didn't do very well in, as you said. So they added blinkers today, hoping that might help out. And then, like you said, it has that bullet workout, 35 and change. Was the best out of 46. So it's another one you might want to look at.
Might want to put some eyeballs on.
Yeah.
And then finally, number 7 is Kaz Mike. Was the favorite last time out at a maiden weight and has not broken its maiden yet. Did fail as the favorite. Demetrios Sinephius. I probably got that all wrong, but I apologize. Does rebound at about 25% of the time when he brings a horse out the next time out as the favorite. Was around 3 to 4 last time out and didn't manage to come home. So think any chance he can do it here?
Well, I don't know. He did run 2nd in his 2 career races, and the trainer wins 25% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back to the races. So, yeah, I think he's got a chance to do something in here.
All right, Terry, now's the time to pick him. The 2 horse is probably going to be your winner, Baris, but I'm going to try to beat it. How are you going to lay him out?
Well, the 2 is, I can't get by that. So that's the first pick for me is the 2. And then my second pick is the number 7, Kazmike. Mm-hmm. And then my third pick is number 5, Red DGP, that 30 to 1 morning shot. And then my fourth pick is the number 1 horse, Unique Unions.
So I'm going to try to go. I think you have to try to beat the 2 horse Baris. So I'm going to go with Unique Unions, the 1 horse on top. I'm going to put Baris behind for that backdoor exacta. And then my third horse is going to be Kaz Mike. And then I'm going to follow it up with number 4, Mo Danson. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 7, and 4 with all likelihood that the 2 horse is probably going to beat me, Terry. That would be my expectation.
Yeah. And, if I play this race, I'm going to take and do a 50 cents try, and I'm going to box the 4 horses that I talked about. And then I'm going to do an exacta, a $10 exacta with the 2 on top and the 5 and the 7 second.
All right. So for the next race up for us, Terry, is race number 9. The next race, it's the Woodhaven Stakes. It's $100,000, 1 mile and a 16th on the turf course. And in this race, the number 5 horse is scratched. That is Dr. Jeff. Mm-hmm. So Dr. Jeff not feeling well today. A mile and a 16th on the turf. Terry, when you look at this, they've had 30 races. 16 of them were won by stalkers and closers. There is, for some strange reason, 4 of them, by the way, went wire to wire of the 30. some strange reason, there's a penalty from the post positions 4 through 7. Otherwise, every other post position seems to play fair, Terry. Let's take a look at race number 2's race shape to kind of get a sense of how this one might play out, or at least the Woodhaven, race number 2 on our list today. Here, once again, you have a little bit of early pace. You have the 3 horse, which is Chan Shay, whatever. And then the 1 horse, Heaven Street. Those 2 are going to be up on the front. And then, well, the 3 horse has to have the lead to win. The 1 horse can have the lead or come in, like be the co-pilot or even assistant pilot or maybe even a stewardess.
Yeah.
The 2, the 4, the 6, and the 7, every single one of those horses only ever won when they've closed. When you look at the actual pace figures, you see the 1 horse, Heaven Street, has the best early pace figures, not much better than 02035. I think that's a reference to a Yes song. And then the 3 horse, Chanso. No, I think I got it. On the way home, the 6 and the 4, unanimous consent in Fort Washington, have a very big late pace advantage over everybody else in this group. And then according to their lifetime speed figures, Terry, looks to me like the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6. So your middle horses, Chanso, Fort Washington, well, Dr. Jeff's not in the race, and unanimous consent, all have the best history in terms of their average speed rating and their peaks and their lower values. Yep. Number 1, Heaven Street, Terry. This one should be the pace setter, I feel like. We're amongst the ones up in pace. Trevor's probably going to sit behind, I would think, the 3 horse here because he's a patient rider. I kind of like Trevor a little bit better when he's mid-pack. Seems like I think he might admit to this too, but I think he's a little bit better when he's mid-pack and saves horse for late versus needing to use a horse that needs to be the front. What do you think Trevor's going to do here?
Yeah, I think he's going to lay back just a little bit, but this is a really wide open race, and this horse here has won 3 out of 5 races, winning the last race at Tampa Bay. The trainer wins 20% of the races when he ships a horse in to run, and this horse has some pretty good workouts. So,
Number 2, 02035. The horse is a horse that's going to be making its first start since February. It does have a nice bullet workout. When you look back at the horse's previous history, the debut finished second. So that's the only other time the horse came from off the bench. Has had some experience, a similar level, did finish second by a nose in the Central Park Stakes back at Aqueduct on the inner turf on November 27th. So what do you think that your horse's chances are today?
Okay, well, this horse finished 5 out of 6 races in the money on the turf and figures to improve returning the turf. He didn't seem to like the dirt very much. His best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. The trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 4, and he has a bullet workout on April 15th of 48, breezing best of 11. So,
number 3, Chan Show. I think on the 4th shot, I got that one right.
I think you did.
This one's coming in from Gulfstream Park, where it did win its last race, going wire to wire. Kendrick Kermouche teaming up with Todd Pletcher. I like when Kendrick is on a front runner. Don't like it as much. It's kind of like the opposite of Trevor. Like when Trevor's on a front runner, I'm a little less confident. When Kendrick is on a horse coming off the pace, I'm a little less confident. Although that last race, he did manage to go wire to wire at Gulfstream Park. There was a little bit of regression early on, or just didn't have to work very hard for the lead and was able to save some up for the end. I think he could get a very similar race setup today.
Yeah, that's true. He finished, 3 out of 5 races in the money during his career. And he's winning the last race at Gulfstream Park. He has a high percentage winning trainer, Todd Pletcher. And then a good jockey, Kendrick Kermouche, like you said, and a good workout on April 15th of 48-4, breezing, third best of 13.
Number 4, Fort Washington, last time out, lost to the 1 horse, Heaven Street. This will be the second start off the layoff for Fort Washington. Hasn't made it 2 races in a row where the horse has not needed to go to the sideline. Last race out had some enormous late pace improvement relative to the prior 2 races for this horse. Do you feel like the second time off the second time off a layoff is going to help Fort Washington? And the looks like a little bit of additional distance.
Yeah, I'm not sure that will, but it could. I like this horse quite a bit. He has 2/3 in a row and a win in his career, and finished third in his last race at Tampa Bay. And he's going to turn the tables, I think, on the number one horse. And then he has a high percentage winning trainer. He's 1-for-1 at Aqueduct, so he can handle the distance here.
He's the next horse. Dr. Jeff is scratched out of this spot. Unanimous consent to $200,000 horse for Chad Brown. Manny Franco. Horse is coming in from Tampa. Prior to that, broke its maiden at Monmouth. Two tracks that seem to have some similarities. Both sandy tracks. This one's coming in. I don't know that Aqueduct is considered sandy. I know that they consider Belmont that way. This horse has come off the pace, undefeated in 2. But you can't bet against Chad Brown in New York. I mean, you have to. Well, you can, but you have to really consider it beforehand.
Yeah, and I agree with you. This horse, like you said, has won both of his career races. He won the last race at Tampa Bay, and he has Chad Brown as a trainer. And the trainer combination in the last 14 days have been in the money 11 times, and they've won 5 of those.
My only concern is this horse has some really kind of last time out some really slow early pace numbers. And if they get off to without a lot of other early pace in here, I think they might be chasing a negative race in terms of the relative to its normal par for this distance and level. So you might see slow numbers in here, which would make it harder for it to catch up. Maceda, the 7 horse, is another one that wants to come in from off the pace, Terry. It did run in one of these New York Stallion Stakes series last time out where it got smoked, finishing 8th of 11 by 12 lengths. That was the first time that the horse had tried dirt, so maybe just didn't like dirt. Prior to that, 3 races on turf, all of which that he closed, won one of them, and came back into Central Park to finish 3rd by a length. Maybe this time around it can be the answer.
Yeah, he, like you said, he tried a 500,000 K race last time out on the dirt and didn't fare very well. So I don't think he's the dirt horse, and he's returning to the turf where I think he'll do a lot better. He switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and of course the trainer wins 29% of the time when he takes the blinkers off. And I'd like to say in that 500,000 K, he had some problems. He came into the stretch seven wide, so
that makes it kind of tough for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so he went 7 wide. Is he going to make your ticket or no?
No.
All right, well, making excuses for him, and then you just say,
well,
get out.
I just want people to be aware of that, so that might explain a little bit of why he finished not too well in there. But my first pick is actually Fort Washington. I think that horse is going to come in, win this race. And then my second pick is unanimous consent. My third pick is Chanzu. Is that how you pronounce it? Chanzo. And my fourth pick is 02 the 35.
020305. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be, like I said, some off of a Yes song, if I remember correctly. All right, I'm going to start with Fort Washington, just like you, Terry. I'm going to go with Chanso, the 3 horse, as my second choice. Heaven Street, I do think that the 1 and the 3 are going to have the pace advantage in this race. Would not be shocked if one of those 2 horses actually won this race. And then I'm going to close it out with the 6 horse Unanimous Consent. Terry, aside from the stakes races today, you've done your homework as well on Keeneland. Did they run yet at Keeneland? Your best bet of the day?
Yeah, in the first race.
Did they run already?
I don't know if they have or not. I haven't been watching it.
All right. Well, anyway, if they haven't, go ahead and tell us what your best bet is, just in case, because it must be coming up soon.
Yeah, I would think it was. I think Tampa Bay Downs just went off, and then right after that, I think King.
Well, you better get hustling then. What's your best bet of the day?
Yeah. So in this race, I like the number 5 horse Spycraft.
You have 37 minutes, Terry. To
well,
okay,
then
so we got. So you can take your time.
Oh, well, that's.
So what do you like anyway? Sorry.
I like number 5 Spycraft as my first pick. He's won 4 out of the last 6 races, including the last race at Keeneland at 6 furlongs in a nice 109.1. That's a pretty good time. He has been off since last October and has some good works in preparation for this race. And then I like number 6, Coopertown. Just like Spycraft, he won his last race at Keeneland at 6 furlongs, but about a second slower. And of course, he did that last year too. Wesley Ward trains, and Irad Ortiz Jr. is in the irons, and that combination in the last 14 days has finished in the money 7 out of 8 times, winning 3. And then I like number 3, Restless Dancer. He ran second in his last race at the fairgrounds by closing from mid-pack, and there is plenty of speed in this race that could set it up for his running style. Michael Maker trains, and Luis Saez is in the irons.
Sounds good to me, Terry. I got you. You got a big head going on over there, Terry. I got to put us back on even footing. There we go.
Okay.
So every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, in case you were wondering what every single day means, Terry does put his best bet of the day over at horseracingtoday.net. Normally, he tells us a little bit, too, about how well he's done. So why don't you fill us in on how well your best bets have done?
Oh, okay, let me get back to that sheet real quick, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind whatsoever. I mean, usually you come out with those numbers, so I guess they must have gone down a little. I don't know.
Not too bad. Actually, I've won. My first picks won 42% of the time this month. My second picks won 15%. My third picks won 15%. But my ROI is $1.28 so far this month. And my first picks finished in the money 73% of the time. Second pick's been in the money 70% of the time.
Again, you can catch Terry's best bet of the day over at horseracingtoday.net. You'll see it there every single day. The next race, we're going to skip on over to Keeneland, Terry. Speaking of Keeneland, we're going to go to race number 8, the Ben Ali Stakes. This is a grade 3 for $300,000, Terry. A mile and an eighth on the main track. So far, they've run 2 races, Terry, at this current Keeneland meet. One won by a speed horse, one by a closer. The speed horse did not go wire to wire. And, with only 2 races, I wouldn't pay much attention to that data. But the data I would pay attention to again here is the race shape for race number 3. Here we have a race that's probably tilted a little bit more towards the front end with 4 of your horses. The 8 horse in this spot has scratched, and I think that probably maybe altered your picks a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the early pace is concerned, Terry, this is how horses have won, not necessarily how they're going to come out of the gate. So the 3 horses had to be on the lead to win. The 1, 2, and 7 could be on the lead or right off the lead. The 5 horse likes the pressure or close. The 4 and 6 have only one closing. As far as the pace is concerned, Proxy and Warrant are the fastest 2 horses out of the gate. At least they have been so far. They should be a little bit of ahead of Mighty Heart, Scalding, and Cowboy Diplomacy. On the way home, it kind of staggers down. Scalding is a little bit better than Tartufo, who's a little bit better than Warrant, who's a little bit better than Dynamic One on the way to the finish line. As far as their speed figures are concerned, this race looks pretty even, Terry. The averages are within the same range, so to speak. The peaks, maybe the 3 horse and the 5 horse have the highest peaks, but at the same time, the 4 horse has the lowest valley along with the 7. So this gives you an indication of how the horses have run and what their top, bottom, and average speed figures look like.
All right.
Okay, what rider did you guys pick for the contest? Sorry if you already said. I picked. Who did you pick, Terry?
I read Ortiz Jr.
So you're going with I've seen a lot of Irad Ortiz. A lot of people going with the
Yeah, it's a favorite.
Yeah, with the favorite. Let's see. For me today, I took. Hold on a second. Let me say. I have to go back and look. I went to your neck of the woods, Terry. I went with Pedro Terrero at Golden Gate. Who did you go with, Jay Marco?
Yeah,
see, I didn't want to use the big names. I'll let everybody else go with the big names.
Then
I'll go with the guys that ride and dominate the smaller tracks up front. And then when everybody starts to fall off and they've used the Irads and they used the Flavian Pratts and they've used, the Trevor McCarthy's at Aqueduct and the Dylan Davises, I'll still have those guys left in my roster.
Yeah, that's true. But I wanted to get through the first round at least. And I'm hoping that's what does this. I was going to go with another jockey, but then said, no, I want to get through this first round. It's like getting the first leg of a pick 4 or pick 5. So.
Well, what makes you think Irad's going to win one today?
Well, it's just pretty easy. I mean, he wins
Pretty
one.
easy. I think you just jinxed yourself. Bye bye,
It
Terry.
might, but he does win. He does win almost every day. So
Well, he does win just about every day. Yeah, he's definitely one. I think he might be the best rider right now.
yeah.
You
Oh,
went
boy,
with Tyler
yeah.
G. Me and Tyler G. Jay have a. He's having a fantastic meet, though. To be honest with you, down there at Keeneland. So I would expect he'll find his way into the winner's circle. He's winning by about a quarter of the races he's in. So as long as he has 4 mounts, he'll probably win at least one of them.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about who we might think might win the Ben Ali Stakes at the Keeneland, where IRAD will be running today. Maybe he'll win this race for you, Terry.
He might.
So the first race is number 1 Cowboy Diplomacy is ridden by Colby Hernandez. What do you think?
Well, he's 0 for 1 at Keeneland, and the only positive thing I really see is he has a really high percentage winning trainer, Brendan Walsh.
Yeah, well, I think if you can rewind a little bit back to that fairground forms where he got towards the front and was able to win races, maybe he'll have a shot in this spot. Second start off the layoff for the horse does tend to, well, it has a history of improving or either walking backwards a little bit. Brendan Walsh, though, has been pretty solid down there at Keeneland, winning 25% of his starts. So I think this horse will be ready. Maybe one that can upset the back end if it can regain that fairgrounds form. Number 2, Mighty Heart, James Graham, Josie Carroll, putting those two together for the first time this year. It's another one that likes to be forwardly placed, does have one race at Keeneland where it finished third, a couple of races, a trio of races at the distance with a second win and a third. What do you think about Mighty Heart's chance to come off the bench, Terry, and shock?
Well, again, this race is a wide open race as far as I'm concerned. A lot of horses in here could win, but this horse finished in the money 7 out of 8 starts, winning 3, and it's finished third at last race at Gulfstream Park. The trainer wins 17% of the time when he ships a horse in, and this horse likes this distance as he's performed well at it.
Proxy is a Godolphin horse. You can never really go wrong betting on those Godolphin horses. Michael Stidham and Brian Hernandez teaming up. They've teamed up 10 times, managed to find the winner's circle together once. Finished in the money 50% of the time. Although if that horse runs that last race, again, the New Orleans Classic, where it just popped its best speed figure ever, third start off a layoff, you have major improvement across the board from beginning to the middle to the end of its last race, Terry. Maybe this horse has a shot.
Well, he comes in from Fairgrounds, and after winning 1 there and then running second in the last race, the trainer wins 17% of the time in the third race after a layoff for a horse. So
it's a big number there. Dynamic 1, the full horse. There's your guy, Terry.
That's
Is this
it.
going to be one where he brings it home for you, or do you feel like he better have won one already?
I think he should have won 1 already for this race. He finished third in his last race at Tampa Bay He's trying Keeneland for the first time. He has a high percentage winning trainer, Todd Fletcher, and, of course, that high percentage winning jockey, Irad Ortiz Jr.
Terry's pick of the day. So Charles says Keeneland best bet, daily double, race 8, 57 and 89. So there you go. And whenever I notice your horse isn't on that list there, Terry, either. Dynamic one with Irad. But whenever E.F. Hutton talks over here, Charles B., he's the E.F. Hutton of horse racing. When he talks, you better listen. He gave us a $56 horse at Tampa Bay the other day. So best bet, I'm going to put some money on this one. Again, for Charles over at Keeneland. And so now I'm really going to put the pressure on you. Daily double, race 8, number 5 and 7. So that is Warrant, and the 7 horse is Scalding. And then in the back half, race 8 and 9 in race number 9. We'll get to those horses in a minute, right?
That's right.
All righty, Jay. Here's your chance to come home the winner in the jockey contest. Number 5 is not. Are we on? Yeah, we're on number 5. Flavian Pratt. I'm surprised nobody took Flavian. I mean, he wins races every day too.
He does.
I think he's proven that he can go from the West Coast to the East Coast and do very well.
Yeah, he's doing really well right now there.
And speaking of which, Flavian did ride this horse last time out at Santa Anita, and the Santa Anita handicap finished second by a head to Express Train, who is, as our guest on Thursday night, Sarah L. Bodway said, has proven to be a phenomenal horse this year. So losing by a head to Express Train is really a really good race.
Yeah, he, like you said, he ran second at Santa Anita, and that was a grade 1 race, and he only lost it by a head. He does have the highest last speed rating, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starter. The trainer jockey combination of the last 14 days has finished in the money 80% of the time, winning 3 of those races.
So, Brian, you say you only like the late pick 4 at Oaklawn today. Do you have a ticket that you've put together that you'd like to share with us? This is a community where if you have something, insights, and you really feel good about something, don't be afraid to put it up. I mean, it's horse racing. We all understand. Everybody here understands that if you put up a pick, it's not guaranteed to win, right, Terry?
That's right.
Unfortunately, I wish there was somebody out there who had the. I'm working on trying to find the holy grail of the data, and then mixing it with like with your experience and trying to figure out how to never find a loser. But unfortunately, that does not happen yet. Tartufo, if you say that one a little bit incorrectly or 5 times too fast, you might get something completely different out of that one.
You might. So
Give
anyway,
me a second. You can't screenshot. Yeah, you'll just have to type it into the comment section, Brian. Thank you. So Tartufo, Terry, go ahead. 5 times real fast.
Well, the Tartufo, I can't.
There you go. 1 time. Done.
1 time's all I could do.
Yes,
I couldn't even do that right. Anyway, the trainer wins 50% of the races when he goes from an all-weather surface to a dirt surface. And this horse does have a pretty sharp workout of 1 minute and change, breezing 4th best of 25 on April 16th at Keeneland.
So here we go. The second part of the first part of our man Charles's double. Scalding, the 7 horse, Javier Castellano, coming in from Tampa Bay Downs, 2 races in a row there, won them both. And before that, he did win a race over there on the slop at Gulfstream Park, breaking its maiden. Just won the Grade 3 Challenger, and you saw some nice improvement in the early pace, the 4 furlong numbers. You saw nice improvement in the late pace numbers. On a good track, ran some similar fractions, a little bit faster actually early on. So I like to see that. A lot of good stuff going on there.
Yeah, this horse finished in the money 4 out of 5 career races. He won the last 3 races in a row, either on top or coming from off the pace, which is an angle I really like. And then he won his last race at Tampa Bay Downs. It was a Grade 3.
All right, so let's see. So this last pick 4 here, looking to me like, is that starting in race 9? Brian, is it race 9? So here's Brian's pick 4. I think you're missing a slash in here, or is this a pick 3? So it looks to me like it's 167. Oh, actually 167 in race 9 to 3 in race 10, the 2, 5, 6, and 8 in race number 9, 10, 11. And then 2, 3, 4. Terry, you're going to love this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 11, and 12 in the last leg.
Oh, that's a
that
good
looks
one.
like a Terry pick 4 across the board, unquestionably.
Yeah, and the other day I did that in that first leg. I think it was Wednesday or something, and of course you know what happened. The hard favorite won that race.
Oh, always works like that, right?
Yeah,
$48 ticket, so not even a prime rib ticket. That is a sirloin ticket, Terry.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So Terry will probably, add more to it. He'll all a couple legs in there to spruce it up.
I don't do that every time. I only do it in certain situations, and very seldom, actually. So,
all right, my friend. So for the Ben Ali Stakes, what are your selections, Terry?
Well, I completely agree with Charles B. I like number 5 as my first pick, Warrant, and as my second pick, I like number 7, Scalding. My third pick, I like number 4, Dynamic One. And then my fourth pick, I like number 3, Proxy.
So I'm going to start off with Warrant as my top pick, number 5. My next pick is number 3. That is Proxy. 7, Scalding is my third selection. So I should probably move it up to 2 in light of Charles's picking. And then number 2 is my last choice, Mighty Heart, with James Graham, the local guy down there, right? Running that twice from Fairgrounds, right?
Yep.
All right, Terry, before we move on, if any of these hit for us, Terry, hopefully, like you'll do like Terry and I, you'll look great doing so if you support the show by heading on over to horseracingtoday.net, hit on the HRT gear link, and you can get this cool 13 hat. I got the 13 shirt on, and I tell you, every time I wear it out, somebody asks me, what is that? And today, for the next couple of days, there's 20% off everything. So just make sure you click on that redeem button there, support the show, look great. And I think I read that 4 out of 5 dentists say it'll make you a better handicapper.
I think you're right about that. So
It would be nice if that were the case, but it seems to have worked for us. Maybe, I don't know.
it
Except
has.
when I do contests. For whatever reason, man, I can't pick a winner for the life of me in those damn contests. So when I
Well,
post my contest picks on
yeah.
Twitter at HRT Rich, just run the other way, man.
Oh wow. See, I did really well yesterday in contests, not in the morning, but in the afternoon, especially Golden Gate Field. So
So I think on Monday, Jay, we can put some stuff together for Thistle Downs.
yeah.
Tell you what I'll do, Jay. I'll make it the free track on Monday over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, so you'll have all of those picks. But we're gonna switch up, Terry, and we're gonna do Parks on Monday and something else on Tuesday, because Parks has 2 $100,000 stakes races on Monday.
Okay.
So every Monday through Thursday, Terry and we do a show at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock Eastern. We take a full card from a track. We do a best bets, long shots, the whole 9 yards. That'll be Monday for Parks. We usually do Parks on Tuesday. So maybe we'll do Parks Monday and Tuesday. I don't know, because Parks is a lot of work usually, Terry.
It is. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. So,
yes. All right. Final stakes race for today is race number 9 over at Keeneland. This one is a 1.5 miles on the turf. $350,000 grade 2 Elkhorn Stakes. Terry, they've run 2 races at this 1.5 miles. I've watched them both. Unfortunately, I had the winner in one of them, and I think he actually did go like almost wire to wire. And the other one, the Speed Horse, won as well. All the winners, I think, have come from the 2-3 posts, but they don't really matter because there's only 2 races so far. Hey, Attila, how are you doing today, my friend? You got his name backwards. It's not Hey Terry, it's Terry Hay.
yeah.
Right.
That happens a lot with me. I have a lot of times when somebody say, "Hey," and I'll turn and they'll say, "Oh no, I don't mean you."
Mm-hmm. So this is what the race shape looks like in the Elkhorn. This is how these horses have won. Just repeat that again. The 5 and the 6 have only won on the lead of late. The 3 horse is one that can ride pilot or co-pilot, so it can be, can steer the car or ride shotgun, give you instructions. Everybody else wants to close. So when everybody else wants to close, Terry, this might be again where pace makes the race. And looking at how they're coming out of the gates, as you can imagine, the 5 Channel Maker, 2 Emmys, those 2 will be up on front. The 6 horse there, Tiberius Mercurius, he's another one that showed some early pace. On the way home, Bema's Boy, Sol Volante. And then those 2 have the best late pace numbers, followed by Cullum Road and Another Mystery. And then again, if we look at how they pace out according to their speed figures over the last 10 races, it sure looks to me like number 5 in here, Channel Maker, has a little bit of an advantage over everybody else.
It could be.
Yes, and Channel Maker, I believe, is one of no, it's not one of Charles's picks. Charles has the 8 horse in the second half of his daily double. That's Bama Breeze. That's a price, and Another Mystery. So he's got 2 prices on the back end of that double.
He sure does. Yeah.
All right.
So,
you ready to run through the race here, Terry?
I am. And
then this race, there's a scratch too, right? At number 4.
Number 4, yeah. So
I actually wrote those down today.
Oh, good. Well, that's Phantom Currency that's scratched. Anyway,
number 1 is Bema's Boy.
That's right. He finished in the money in 4 out of 5 of his last races. He went and he won one of those. Has got a high percentage winning trainer, and the rail post is winning at 18% clip. The trainer wins 22% of the time when he brings a beaten favorite back.
Third start off a layoff for Bema's Boy. The last 2 races, he finished second by a head, so he's got the gambler's fallacy here. He's due to find that head somewhere in here today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brian says it was his go-to pick, but unfortunately, the horse is out of the rates. Right. I think I had him rated high too. Third start off a layoff for trainer Michael Maker, a 19% angle, but that's in line with his normal winning rate. Let that last race, though, a little bit concerning that the fractions were slower and still couldn't find its way into the winner's circle. Solo Volante, it's been a while since this horse has found the winner's circle, Terry. I remember it was a big part of the Kentucky Derby. They had the big like expose of the horse and the young girl who owns the horse on NBC. Unfortunately, the horse hasn't found its form. Any chance it finds its form here with a significant late pace improvement in its first start since January?
No, as you said, he hasn't won a race in over 2 years, and he does have a pretty good workout on April 2nd, or 20th, 48 and change, breezing from the gate, 10-42. But I'm going to pass on this one.
Number 3, 2 Emmys. Sean hit this one last time out when we did the fairgrounds show. Horse goes wire to wire. Here's the thing with this one: if he gets the lead comfortably, he tends to do all right. If he's challenged, he tends to struggle. I have no question that he's going to be challenged by Channel Maker today. So what do you think his odds are of winning this race, Terry?
Well, he may come up a little short, but he finished in the money 4 out of 5 times in his last 5 races. And he's won 3, including winning the last race at the fairgrounds, which, as you said, Sean got. And the trainer wins 17% of the time when he brings back the winner of their last race.
Number 4 is Scratch. Number 5, Channel Maker. This is another one that needs the lead, Terry, to win. If it doesn't get the lead, it can sometimes hold on for a piece. But usually if it doesn't get the lead, it falls apart. Coming in from the last race was the Breeders' Cup Turf, the grade 1. You were there.
Yes, I was.
Outclassing everybody here?
Yeah, it pretty much looks like it to me. He had only won a second last year, but he ran against really tough horses, including, as you said, the Breeders' Cup Turf G1. And he ran 5th there, but he was only beaten 4 3/4 lengths. Not embarrassing. He has a highest last race speed rating, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
Tiberius Mercurius. I hope I got that one right. Third start off, a layoff, Terry. This horse has run on the turf 17 times, won one of them. Run on the all-weather, did so 2 times, won both of those. Marco, here's your guy, Tyler G. I think you might have been better off if this race were on all-weather, but maybe a little bit better in the third start off a layoff. Has run Keeneland on the dirt, didn't do very well there, so tries the turf. Do you think all these changes will be enough?
Well, he's won 2 out of the last 3 races, and he did win his last race at Turf Paradise. I'm not Turf Paradise, Tampa Bay, isn't it?
TP?
Yeah, Turf Paradise, bro.
Yes, Turf Paradise. No, okay. Turfway Park.
No, Turfway Park. You're right.
Yes. Uh-huh.
There's too many T's there. I think Turf Paradise is TUP. Anyway, he has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to high percentage winning jockey, and that combination's won 50% of their starts in the last 14 days.
Cullum Road won its last. Nice late pace improvement, nice mid-race improvement, nice early race improvement. It's another horse that's making that all-weather to turf flip. I know when we had Chris on, he mentioned Chris Parmalu mentioned that a lot of horses coming from Turfway Park were struggling at Keeneland. Looks like the odds maker thinks that Cullum Road will struggle too at 30-1 morning line odds, but has run 3 times at Keeneland on the turf and managed to win 2 of them.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this is mile half race. I really like the long marathon races. So one of the things I like about them is either the favorite wins them or some big long shot does. But anyway, this horse has been off since last July and until March of this year. But he won his first race back at Turfway Park, and he's won 2 out of 3 at Keeneland. So he kind of likes this track.
Brian says Channel Maker does not win here. Pace is always too hot, and he gasses himself out all the time. He is the main speed. I don't know that he's going to get a lot of pressure this time around, which can open the door for him. Good news after the stream watch there. Thanks. There's some good stream. NA Championship picked 8-9 in race 9, so I'm not on an island with those selections. Very confident in cashing this today. All right, good. So the first one is of the 2, and that that daily double that Charles put on the board. Bama Breeze, Terry. Do we even need to say anything other than Charles? He's very confident.
Well, we can say that, and one of the things that I like, and I agree with him, even though he's not one of my picks, but I agree with him. This horse did win a mile and a 5/16 race at Kentucky Downs, and he has a really good trainer jockey combination who's won 2 out of the last 3 races. This is only his second race this year. It's been off since January. and he's put in a couple of works in preparation for this.
All right. So, I've learned not to cross Charles. So I'm just going to say, put Bama Breeze in your picks. First time off a layoff. Last time out off a layoff, he won at Kentucky Downs on the turf at 1 5/16 miles. Certainly can handle the distance. So, the time before that at Churchill Downs, ran a mile, was closing hard, probably needed more runway. So I'm going to go with Charles. I'm going to say put him in your ticket, man. Number 9, another mystery. This is the last horse in the field. It's also the last horse in Charles' daily double for races 8 and 9 for the 2 stakes races here. This one's making its second start off a layoff with Flavian Pratt, Chris Block. Flavian has done a phenomenal job. Chris Block used to dominate up around here in Chicago when Arlington was open, so taking his game elsewhere. Horse does have a run at Keeneland, at 1.5 miles. Was a good course. Finished 5th in that one. What do you say?
Yeah, he's finished in the money 48% of the time during his career and won 28% of those races. And he has a really decent workout. He was 9th best out of 27. And he likes the 1.5 miles. He won at Houston in January at 1.5 miles. And he ran, like you said, second, I think, or third in another one. So
how are you going to stack them up, Terry?
All right. Well, I'm going to go with Channel Maker. That's my first pick. And then my second pick, and I had a hard time between my first and my second pick on which one to go with. But my second pick is number 1, Bama's Boy. Mm-hmm. And then my third pick is number 3, 2 Emmys. And I should go with Brahma Breeze because of what Charles said. But my fourth pick basically is number 6, Tiberius Curious.
Well, I'm going to start off with Bema's Boy. I think the horse will probably sit right behind those horses that gassed themselves out, 2 Emmys and Channel Maker. Channel Maker, it's a tough one to go right there, right?
Yeah.
So dynamic handicapping. Yes, I know it is. When Charles throws the monkey wrench, the fly in the ointment. What is it? The fly in the Vaseline, or the song from Stone Temple. Was it Stone Temple Pilots? Anyway, the second choice for me, I'm going to give Channel Maker a shot just because it's been facing better. But I do think there's a chance with 2 Emmys pressing him, he does fade. I'm going to go with Charles' horse, number 8, Bama Breeze. I do like Bama Breeze a little bit better than Another Mystery, although you got to say I prefer Flavian Pratt there. And then I'm going to close it out with number 3, 2 Emmys. I probably should put the 9 horse there and do that dynamic handicapping. I'm just probably going to put them all in there and jumble them up in some kind of exacta trifecta box, Terry.
Oh, yeah. And if I pay the pick 4 or pick 5, I'm going to throw Charles's 2 horses in there also. So
you have to put him in. Charles is just he's too good.
He's just he's right on the money on so many times. So
all right, Terry, that wraps up our Saturday Stakes show. We will be back, as we mentioned, on Monday. Terry and I will cover Parks on Monday, everybody's favorite track. So make sure you make a note of that. We'll start at 12 noon. They have 2 $100,000 stakes races that day. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll have our best bets, long shots, pick 4s, everything that we normally do, and maybe even a surprise guest. We'll see. Maybe not even a guest. Thank you, Charles, as always, for your input. We appreciate that. If you like what you saw today, like Sadiq did and Lionel TM Hook, please give us a thumbs up on Twitter. So like us on Facebook. Thumbs up while you're here on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on our social media sites at Horse Race Today. You see the numbers down there. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate that too. All right, Terry, any final words before we get up and out of here and start to try to enjoy our weekend?
No, just hoping everybody has a great day, whether you're betting on the races or just spending some time with your loved ones. And, I'm hoping that next week's a good week for everybody, weather-wise in every way. So.
Yes, and then we also had, as mentioned by Brian, brought up the Oak Lawn pick 4 of his, so make sure you take a note of that. But we also did with our guest on Thursday night, Sarah El Badwe, we did the 3 stakes races today at Oak Lawn Park. The Apple Blossom with Latruska and CC. We did the Oak Lawn Handicap and the Oak Lawn Stakes, those 3 big races. So make sure if you haven't seen that show, you head on over to Horse Racing Radar TV right here on YouTube. Give that a watch. Get our insights into those 3 big races as well. That's it, Terry, for today. As always, we appreciate you joining us today. We appreciate you joining us today, Terry. And as always, we hope your Saturday, your weekend, everything that you do, except for your jockey pick, just my jockey pick. Let's get this contest over today. Ends up in the
winner circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic weekend.